Hi, I'm Rodney Miller.
And I'm Jan Carl. Thanks for choosing to watch this clip from our Small Town Big Deal YouTube channel.
For full episodes, go to our website, smalltownbigdeal.com.
Now, enjoy the video.
Popcorn is certainly worth celebrating here in the U.S. Every year, Americans consume 17 billion quarts of the fluffy stuff. That's enough to fill the Empire State Building 17 times.
That makes us the #1 popcorn-eating country in the world. As for the rest of the globe, well, nearly all of the popcorn they do eat is grown right here in the U.S. And Indiana is the second highest popcorn-producing state in the nation, behind only Nebraska.
So to celebrate the popcorn harvest and honor their local farmers who work so hard to produce it, the town of Brookston, Indiana holds this annual festival.
The town sits in the northwest part of the state, about 75 miles from Indianapolis.
Once I get you up there.
And on the third Saturday in September, it swells from a population of just 1,500 to more than 15,000.
The festival engulfs this charming little town. Walking down Main Street is like going back in time with games and food that harken back to more simple times.
We met up with Shelley Christopher, whose grandmother started the festival exactly 40 years ago.
There used to be an apple orchard in town here, and obviously we wanted to celebrate the popcorn harvest, but they really wanted to bring people to town and to see the local businesses that we had here in town.
Jan and I are dying to eat some of this locally grown popcorn, and the name we kept hearing was Bill Rary.
So, Bill, how long have you been making kettle corn?
Since 2002.
You look pretty good at it there.
I've been working at it for a while.
Then, as the sugar gets hot, it liquefies.
Yes, liquefies, and then when it starts to pop, it cools and clings to the corn. And the speed of your stirring makes a great big difference because it gets on there more even.
We caught up with our good friend Bob Zarcy, a retired farmer who still loves to help out on the multi-generational farm with his son Randy, where one of their main crops is popcorn.
So, Bob, you've been a lifelong farmer. What does popcorn mean to this area?
Well, it's a big economic crop for White County. It's a specialty crop, kind of a prestige thing if you can get a contract to raise popcorn.
Bob told us it's hard to get a contract raising popcorn because it has to be handled very carefully due to the fact that it's for human consumption. One key rule is keeping your combines squeaky clean during harvest.
Speaking of combines, we met up with Randy and his friend Jeff, who also works a family popcorn farm nearby. They brought over their beautiful red and green machines for us to check out.
So how many pounds last year?
We're trying to produce 2 to 3 million pounds a year.
That's more than you can eat even.
You know, that might be just a little bit more than I can eat.
Now, Jeff, you're running a green combine. You know, she grew up on green. Her dad worked at John Deere, and I grew up on IH. So we have this fun battle. So any chance maybe she could get in there and she could drive that a little bit?
Absolutely.
Wait, there's a refrigerator in here.
And I'll be on the red machine, and we'll have a little fun.
Don't hit me.
After Randy gave me a quick refresher on the controls, we were off to harvest.
Jan's on a lot bigger machine than we are. But actually at the time this combine, they started production on this, it was the largest. Well, they just keep getting bigger, don't they?
Now driving, it's all you. Just keep the snouts right down the center of it. Come back this way. There you go.
Oh, wait. No, you do it.
Okay, there, it's right on.
Okay, this is a little nerve-wracking. Part of the reason that the combine is so expensive is it does so many jobs.
Yeah.
So it knocks down the stalk, cuts the stalk, pulls off the ear, then very rapidly dehusks it and desilks it.
Yeah, then it takes all these kernels off, and this is what you end with. All that goes out the back of the combine, these kernels go in the bin. So Jan's behind us. What are you thinking? Is Jan having a good time, you think, back there?
Ah! I'm harvesting!
I was getting the hang of this and wanted to keep going, but it was already time to offload.
All right, go ahead and nudge it forward.
I could not believe how much popcorn we got from just a few rows.
Jan did a really good job. She may be a Hollywood star, but she knows how to run a combine.
With our corn offloaded, it was time to see how popcorn gets processed. So we head over to Goot Wine Popcorn Company in Francisville, Indiana.
The Goot Wine family has been farming in the area since 1906. and now has a state-of-the-art facility where they process tons of popcorn every year. So what makes popcorn pop? Well, when heat is applied to the kernel, whether in the microwave, the air popper, or a stovetop, the tiny bit of moisture inside the kernel turns to steam, and the steam builds up more and more pressure until it literally explodes.
Every once in a while, there'll be the little ones that don't pop.
Sure.
So why do those decide not to pop?
Well, there would be a reason. Usually there's going to be a scratch on it, or the tip is going to be broke off. And when that goes into a heater in your popper or on the stove, that pressure has to build up. And if there's a crack or in the skin or in the hull, it lets the steam out, so it will not explode, because it's a little explosion.
Now, before any kernels makes it to your local grocery, samples are sucked in through what's essentially a giant straw, and then kernels are tested for moisture. If it meets their high specifications, it's allowed to be stored in their giant bins, where it's air dried for a few months.
There, the kernels go through a myriad of machines that remove any possible debris, like tiny bits of corn stalk. They even have a technology that can detect if a kernel has a scratch and therefore won't pop.
By the way, a good batch of popcorn has a pop rate of 98%.
We'll dump our 250 grams in.
Okay, so it's gonna pop and it's gonna fill this.
Yes. How far that goes up is what the volume of that particular 250 grams was.
Yep.
Finally, the pop test. This is to make sure that the popcorn expands to a large and fluffy size. It's poppability, if you will. If the tube is too low, the kernels are not expanding enough. Now it's all about getting the moisture level inside the kernel to a perfect 13.5%.
This is as fresh as it gets. There's no flavoring on it, so it's just pure popcorn.
I love popcorn.
Oh no. Does it pass your test? It even tastes buttery without any butter on it when it's that fresh.
Then, like a moth to a flame, Rodney couldn't resist getting his hands on a piece of machinery.
So far I haven't spilled any popcorn. He stacks them perfectly.
How do you know it's a he?
Yeah, well, I don't. It might be a she, I don't know.
I don't know, it's so precise, I'm thinking maybe it's a she.
When that kernel comes here, it's almost ready for human consumption, right?
Basically getting it to the right moisture and then getting all the impurities out.
Yeah.
It's almost like it's such a pure product.
Yeah.
It is.
As somebody who's trying to eat healthier, it's refreshing to know that popcorn has little to no processing and low in calories, which makes it a top choice on my favorite healthy snacks.
We'll see y'all.
Bye!
Really, a 50-pound bag?
You might hold me for a couple weeks.
Thanks for watching this clip from Small Town Big Deal. Don't forget to click the subscribe button and be sure to click the bell so you'll be notified when we upload new videos. Also, click the like button. To see full episodes, go to www.smalltownbigdeal.com.